button and then you realize you didn't straighten camera. Okay, I think we're good. Let me make sure that I am live inside the group. It make it dark because it's dark outside. Don't want to get up and reach the window. So hope the lighting's okay. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can see me. We are doing our day 2 of the podcasting mini course. We are talking about the what and the how. So hang on. Okay, I can see myself. I can hear myself. Awesome. Save that. And all right, we're gonna do a recap quickly of day 1. And remember, during this whole challenge, we're only asking 2 questions at a time. We're not talking about any of the tech or recording or editing or podcasting software, because I want this to be the easiest foundation for you to start your podcast rather than you focusing on the tech and the software. So all of this is just a creativity time. This is a 4-day mini course. We show up each morning at 8:30 Central with myself, Jakira Davis. We did day 1 yesterday. Today's day 2. Tomorrow, Thursday, will be day 3, and Friday, day 4. And at any time, if you have any questions at all about podcasting, put them down in the comments, and I will be sure to go back and answer them as we go throughout the mini course. So yesterday for day 1, we're going to recap that really quickly with 2 questions, and then we're going to get started for day 2. So day 1 was, why do you want to create a podcast? Why is it relevant to you? What significance do you have with the topic that you are creating? And number 2, who is your audience? Who are you talking to? Who is listening to your podcast episode? So those were I know there were 2 questions, but they had a few questions with them, but just to help you get your brain rolling. And you can put these down in the comments as well. I would love to see that and track your progress. I know Tanya commented yesterday about her audience, and just if you have questions and if you are stuck and you don't know, put it down in the comments as well. That way I can help you. So jumping into day 2, since yesterday we covered the why you want to start your podcast and your audience. Today we are talking about what are you telling your audience, so the content that you're going to be sharing, and also how are you going to be sharing these episodes. So I'm going to break this down in these 2 questions today. So what are you telling your audience? Are you telling them experiences or stories? Are you just getting on and just sharing about your day? And this would relate to your topic as well. So I know, Jessica, since I know what you do, I'm going to use you as an example since you're watching. So Jessica is a makeup artist. She's really, really good. And she works with tons of other photographers and other makeup artists in her realm. And so Jessica, her topics would be talking about like makeup, and hers would actually be really good if you would do it with video, but talking about makeup, what is the best type of makeup? What is your favorite type of makeup? Why do you use this? What are some people that you have worked with? Because I know she has interviews as well, but you can interview different other makeup artists. You can collaborate with different people. It's just, what are you telling them? Telling about your business experience or why you got into makeup, what it does for you, and how does it make you feel. There are tons of different ways and topics that you can go, and there's a tons of different ways that you can just share about your podcast. So that is the first question. What are you sharing with them? What are you telling your audience? And that is more just like a brainstorm, and just write down the topics, and you'll be surprised of how long you can talk about topics when you're just sitting down and just having fun. So that is the first question. What are you going to be telling your audience? What are you going to be sharing with your audience? So the next question is, how are you going to be sharing those episodes? And it sounds a little more daunting than what it is, but breaking it down, how are you going to be sharing the episodes? Is it just going to be you? Are you just going to be the co-host? Are you just going to be the host? Will you have a co-host that is someone else that will be doing the episodes with you? Will you have guests? Will you not have guests? And this can totally change as you go with your podcast as well. For example, if you want to start off with just like solo episodes, it's just you and it's just you talking, and then you decide to bring on a guest like here and there, and then you're like, you know what, I really don't like having guests, I like just having me and myself just talking. Fine, cool. Or you can say, oh, I really like having guests, it like gives me a break to have episodes, and I love conversating with other people and collabing. Cool, you can have a guest. You may go down the road, it's like, this is a lot of work, I feel like this podcast would be a lot better conversational wise with someone else, so I'm going to be looking for a co-host. Absolutely, go out and look for a co-host. And you can also do it the same way as in, well, we have a podcast, you and your co-host, if that's how you decide to start your podcast, but we feel like we're on two different paths, and I want to take over the podcast, or even they want to take over the podcast, and I start something of my own. That's totally fine as well. There's not a right or wrong way to share your episodes of the topics that you have, and there's not a right or wrong way to have those episodes come out, whether it's just you or solo or a guest. So those are pretty much the two questions that we have for the mini course. Just something to think about as you build off of yesterday when we talked about our why we wanted to start a podcast, and also the audience that we were talking about. Now we're getting more into the topics that you want to share, and what does that look like as it's coming from you as a one-person show, as a co-host, or someone with guests. Remember to write all these down. I do have a brainstorm your podcast PDF. I will link it here in the comments. Like after this video, I'll make a post about it as well, because I didn't do that yesterday. But this is a guide where you can keep all of these questions and just brain dump them. There's a section for brain dumping, and you can answer all the questions as you go while we're going through this mini course. And again, it doesn't talk about any of the tech or the recording or editing. That is not what we're talking about through this mini course. You can find out more about that in Your Podcast Your Story. We will have a live round coming up at the end of June 20th through July 1st. So if you're interested in that, you can go to letstryadulting.com/YPYS. You can also DM me, and I will link it in the comments after this live video as well. So if you have any questions about podcasting of what we covered yesterday, your why of your podcast and your audience, or today, the topics that you will be having, and then how you are going to share your podcast, please comment them down below. That is the only way I can help you. You can DM me as well if you don't feel like commenting. I'm all here for serving my community this year, whether you came to me from podcasting or solopreneurship. And I know you guys have seen like a lot if you're on my email list, especially this week. So yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for showing up for yourself and your podcast and sharing your time with me this morning. We're going to be doing this again tomorrow for day 3, where we're going to be covering 2 more questions on how to build the foundation of your podcast in this free podcasting mini course. So thank you so much for joining me today. I just love my shirt, how it just looks like this. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Jakara Davis, and as always, mindset is everything. All right. Bye. Have a lovely Wednesday.